Hello and welcome to the final session of this Masks series of 5 games. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this session is part of the Gauntlet Gaming Calendar, which is an online gaming community club. You can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. We have a number of safety tools that are in play, Aligns and Veils, X-Card, Open Door. I'm moving quite quickly through because we've got a lot of potentially on the table for this final session. So we had that collapse, and they get the next issue and they expect we're going to open up with seeing the group under the collapse, but in fact starts out with us flashing back to what 404 has been doing while all of this team disruption and sleeping around and bank robberies and eating apples and all of that kind of thing has been going on. So 404, what did you do in the aftermath of all your guilt and such at that sort of revelation about your tools being used in all of this?
Well, I think in true nerd fashion, 404 spent a lot of time in the lab. At the end of the last session I could make, I actually had unlocked Sanctuary. So my Sanctuary has a powerful computer, useful tools, a power battery, art, music, and food for my peeps. But it's difficult to access and easily damaged or tampered with because the nature of 404 is that it's a real small lab. It's difficult to access because effectively you need size change technology to get into it.
Yep.
But on the bright side, if I really want, I can have a drone pick it up and fly it around. Because it's basically, the size of a Lego set. Not one of the big ones. so there's a camera that is like the base that we had been using is empty. Because 404 took the Frogurt machines and everything and put them inside of the tiny lab. So as the camera kind of pans around looking for it, since I mentioned the drone already, it's eventually going to go up to the drone and get smaller and smaller and smaller. And then inside you can see he's got his wheelie chair and he's going back and forth. And on the table is what is clearly a replica of Hope's medallion. Because 404 couldn't crack the teleporter issue with the scrambled brains on his own, but the technology from the future did it for him. So as I put in the chat, while other people were busy learning the blade, 404 was busy learning how to reprogram teleporters. And so his intent was to while the fight was going on, take this modified technology and go and muck about with Rex Core tech. So it's the perfect distraction. No one thinks to look while he is going and messing with the technology. And if I have time to narrate, that is what he does. He will grab some of those medallions and head on down.
So let's fictionally say that in the kind of the like possibly you were down in this basement super lab, stealing the stuff when A, Rex and Mercy came through their teleporter, and B, Aftermath came crashing through the ceiling with your companions. And I think we see shots from last time, like the same panels, but now maybe there's a circle and we see a little dot pointing to where you are getting thrown around in the fight there.
Yeah.
So you've got materials, you've got the stuff that you're pretty sure you can use to fix the situation, ? So that's what we're going to take up. Before I go too much further, mechanically, I saw that Kay Foxling opened up his moment of truth. And we know, Hope, that you still had that on the table as a possibility. Are there any other advancements that were taken by anybody that I should know about? Okay, good.
I'm gonna post the sanctuary move in the chat. If you want to say I have what I need already, that is lovely. But there is the thing that lists the resources that you can choose from. I am more than happy to say I've already got it, and that's what I spent last session doing.
I think that's what it is you've got the pieces to give you the fictional positioning to do some of the crazy things you want to do with your powers. So I think we go to a black panel, and then there's some kind of light that comes on, probably cell phone light, and we see banged up, injured, kind of shaken, all 5 of you in this beneath this stone dome, and I think seismic, like the whole building has come down, and I think we can see the concentration lines and the sweat bead on your forehead there to say that this is tough, and it is pressing down on you. 404, how do you reveal yourself?
I think 404 is just going to be just snap back to regular size and go, oh, hey, guys.
And I think there's we see him, and you know how there's the weird moment where you just see something dumb in the middle of a crisis and you just laugh. And I think Rodan just can't help it. As soon as you pop it, just this laugh. It's slightly deranged, honestly. It just bubbles out of him as he sees you.
Cool. We should probably get out of here, huh?
Oh, it would be nice as you hear probably another level come down. No rush or anything.
Actually, if you're holding on to that, maybe I could do something. And I want to try and use the newborn move. Or I don't know if this would fit in with cosmic energies or not, because there's a distance between cosmic energies via Scarlet Witch versus cosmic energies versus you have beam powers. But I want to see if I can turn back time, sort of, but just on the building.
Interesting.
So the building goes back into place.
What condition do you want to mark to do that?
Let's see. Sorry, 1 second. I know on this keeper it doesn't show the effects.
Actually, it does. If you look.
Oh, okay. It's just on the side. It's not automatically there.
Yeah, it's on the little thing. Pop up.
I think he's angry.
Okay.
I'm gonna mark angry because this is his home, and everything seems to be falling apart. So I will mark angry.
Okay. So you can mark angry, and we see you start to do that. Let's have you roll unleash your powers.
Sorry, I'm just checking my moves real quick to see if
Absolutely.
that can help me. No. Okay. Come on. 9. And I'll use a team selfishly to make that a 10.
Okay. So what does that look like? What is the selfish, you're helping the team, but how are you doing it that alienates someone?
So I think this is going to sound terrible. I think he doesn't have the right angle. So despite how much seismic is already going through, I think he moves not even sort of paying attention, sort of locked in this pinpoint of trying to use this new power, and like see the right points. I think. Oh, do you have an idea, Brendan? Or
One way of the alienating is that Hope knows this is the wrong thing to do.
that is fun. Yeah, it's the wrong thing to do.
That messing with time is poison.
But also he steps onto like mid back and or shoulders of Seismic to be in the right vantage point while Seismic is trying to hold the building up. Just adding a little more pressure.
I
So
like that. I
we
was thinking the
s-
same thing.
We see you do that step. We see the reaction from Hope. And I think we see like the building comes unstuck from the rest of the timeline as you put it back together, as you reassemble it. Other time flows normally, but we'll see all of those bricks kind of pick up and reassemble there. We haven't heard from, let's start with Jasmine, and then from Hope in the reaction to this moment, these scenes here that are going on. Jasmine, as the building gets lifted off of you, as you see Foxling step on Seismic, what's your reaction here?
Yeah, I think Jasmine Knight is turning to 404 and going, like, amidst all these more important things, going to turn to 404 and go like, why didn't you pick up my call?
So 404 actually has one of the smoothies. It's just like, well, I was pretty busy trying to help us save the world doing what I do, and I saw the news footage. Good job.
So do you have it? You've got something?
Oh yeah, I solved it. We I just thought we were dealing with this right now. Yeah. I've got some. I can unscramble the brainwave stuff. The Rex Cortec is, it's derivative, but it's good. So we can make it work. We're gonna have to, get a hold of them. It would help to get them to go through the teleporter again. I don't know if the medallions will work on their own, but get a medallion on them, and I'm 78% sure that it'll work. 78.2. 78.269. 78.269% sure that it'll work. I moved the base to a more secure location though, so that was fun too.
This is a monologue. I think Jasmine is gonna then turn to Hope and sort of like ignoring Seismic and Foxling, who clearly have like doing big things, is gonna turn to Hope and go like, I think it's the two of us. If 404's got the key to this thing, we need to make it happen.
Hope?
You're right, but I have to do something first. Okay, with your permission.
What's up?
I'm just going to take your character somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, shenanigans. Go for it.
Hope goes, wait, no, you don't understand. She puts a hand on Rodan, and they vanish into no time. When you are hanging in the air, the building is frozen. Everything else is frozen. You and I are talking. We're in a bubble. And I'd like to roll my start of session move. If I
Okay.
may.
Yep.
So it's rolling Savior to see if I figured it out, and if I haven't, I'm going to use my moment of truth. That's a 9. I didn't add anything.
Okay.
the lead of the question is and this is directed at Kate, pretty much, which is what can I do to get Rodan to break away from his father?
I think it's the same answer as last time. You either need Rex to admit to something or do something unforgivable in front of Rodan, so Rodan
Yeah.
can like see this and have this moment.
Yeah, and I say he did. He is admitted to. You can see that Aftermath was his doing. He made this whole crisis happen so that he could respond to it and, you know, be seen as a force for good. But it's a manufactured disaster. I wish I could. I can't show you what I know, but it only gets worse from here.
So Foxling,
Mhm.
you've been pulled out of time. You're here. Hope's made this pitch to you before, making the same pitch, but a little different circumstances. Do you believe Hope?
I think he like believes her, but he also like again like doesn't necessarily like because he knows his dad's a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Like he knows his dad is doing bad things. But again, he's under the impression that the Aftermath killing like a teenager was Aftermath. He thinks some of this, he's like, and so he gets that dad, but he thinks Rex can still be absolved.
Right. So this isn't necessarily
So
changing the sitch or the emotional reaction that you're having.
Not yet. Like I
Not
said
yet.
before.
Okay.
So what I'm going to try to do then is I'm going to try to show Rex the future.
Okay.
Just
We'll come back to that.
A glimpse.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. I want to go over to the other characters in this. Seismic, that's released, and you know that they're going to be back, but there's this flicker. We're going to say that Foxling and Hope are kind of, you know, isolated, but not gone. But what do you say to 404? What do you say to Jasmine?
Well, some housekeeping things first.
Yeah.
Last episode, I snatched the tablet of mind control or some sort of tablet that at least had information.
You got
on it, right?
you got the device that
Okay.
Rex was using for the controls.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that to 404, and like grab it and like shove it in his chest, and it's like it just turned around and just scream. In the comic book, I probably see it as like taking up 2 pages. There's all this rubble and destruction everywhere, and then my character just takes up this much with a huge bubble that just says like, "Could people just please stop leaving for 5 minutes?" And oh, another question: Did Rodan, you know, put the building back together ish, or the entire building like pristine?
How would
The
you
entire
like?
building pristine.
Yeah,
The entire building pristine. So we can just walk out of here.
absolutely. People have seen it fall, and people have seen it reconstruct.
Well, I'll turn to 404 and be like, I have a lot of yelling to do at you, but not right now. Do we want to get anything from here before the authorities come?
Well, we could probably use the bonus PR from having saved the building. I've got most of the supplies we need, but that's the main thing I think that we could probably get from here. On the other hand, you did just rob a bank. So you may want to get out of here and leave that to Jasmine. It's up to you, though. Oh, and 404 looks around and then it like picks up a little speck and it grows bigger and passes you a Frogurt. And you're like, I thought you could use this.
Damn it, 404. You know I love Frogurt. I'm so mad at you right now. And then he like snatches a Frogurt. He's also really hungry, so being hangry doesn't
It's
help.
mango.
Dang it. You know that's my favorite. I'd like to have a scene with 404. I think it's a cool idea that Jasmine stays behind and does PR control, you know, if that sounds interesting to you, Thomas. But yeah, I haven't had a scene with 404. I just don't know of anything interesting that we could do. Jason, do you think of anything?
Well, I mean, I can walk you through the brain whatnot thing. If you are looking for a place to lie low, we could have you hide at my house and meet my parents. That would be comedic, which I don't know if that's what you're looking for.
If you just want a one-on-one, like
Yeah.
Chance, the lab is there.
Yeah, you could also talk to me about your issues. Let's do that. Let's have
Let's do
me
that.
kind of start you walking through the science, and then you can yell at me about it.
Now,
Sounds
let
good.
me check in with Jasmine, see what Jasmine's doing. Come back, have you do a little bit of that vocalization,
Sure.
and then we'll come back to the Hope Foxling thing. So I think we see that the shrink effect with 404 and seismic. You know, because you have the portable lab, the drone there. Jasmine, what are you doing?
So I think again for the second time, like Jasmine's left alone, like everybody else seems to have vanished. But I just want to check because I think Brandon intended that scene with Hope and Foxling to be out of time, like in the sense that are they going to come back in a moment?
As I said, you know they're going to come back, but I in order to keep the sort of the you able to play, I need to move that forward on that.
Yeah. So then I think I'm good with not doing anything till they come back or till.
Okay. All right. Then we'll hold off on
Yeah.
that. Then what we'll do, let's do the 404 Cisco, and then we'll do Hope Foxling, and then we'll come back to you. Okay. So what's the coolest thing that Seismic is going to see about your lab, 404?
Well, I think the obvious thing is the Ant-Man and the Wasp stuff, where things that are normal sized are now really big and they've been repurposed. You know, paper clips have remarkable strength when they're being used at this scale. But just the whole thing, it's like he took the very best of Lego with its little motors and its lights, etc. And at this size, it is super cool. It is the most cool high-tech looking lab that's possible. But it also has the weird discordant size. And because 404 built it with the idea that it was the base for the whole team, it's accommodating to the whole team.
That's awesome.
So it doesn't just have food in it. What's noted on the it's listed as art, music, and food. So like as they come in, there's already music playing. And I think, you know, because it's Cisco, we're just arbitrarily going to say that it's punk music. And you know, with love, it's just R-O-C-K and the U. Yeah, so and you know, there's various posters and up. It is a hodgepodge because he just put up everything he thought everyone would like. And since everyone's tastes are all over the place, it's not exactly carefully decorated. The overwhelming scientificness of it is clear, but the posters are just all over the place. It's also a problem for decorating for hope because what the future actually looks like is not real known and would be unlikely to bring hope comfort. So for a reason that making things comfortable for everyone else would probably be the most comfortable thing for hope. And yeah, there is decidedly a seismic corner, which has like a reinforced chair and is clearly designated as slightly more punk rock. He also has multiple couches set up so that people theoretically don't have to fight over couches. They're going to anyway.
So Seismic, you wanted to have this conversation with 404, and now you have the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think every blind squirrel finds an acorn, and it wouldn't it wouldn't be like Seismic to pick up on Vincent's thoughtfulness, but I think after a while it's gonna click that he really went out of his way to make a space for us, and I think he's gonna vocalize that and say like, it's really hard to stay mad at you right now when you did this clearly for the group.
Yeah, that was my plan. I didn't want people to be mad at me at all. I'm glad that's cool. I'm glad it worked.
I think he's gonna take something that he read from Therapy 101, what to expect when you're expecting to talk about your feelings, and be like, okay, but you can't be like doing all this right stuff and then making all this relational like destruction over here. And Jason, can I pitch that you found maybe like a quantum mite as you were researching like the not quantum realm, as you're trying to get smaller and smaller, instead of like going in, like maybe you brought back
A pet?
some sort of dog-like pet that's like a bug / terrier of some sort or kind. Okay.
Yeah. He's a, hold on, Mighty, here, Mighty.
I think it's like terrifying, but also super cute in like a stuffed Cthulhu kind of way, probably. Yeah.
This is Mighty Mite.
Oh my god. Is this what you've been doing? And
then
I think,
mostly I was solving I had an algorithm for this. But I was actually mostly putting, let me show you. And 404 goes over the slidey chair. It's like, so the problem is that the technology itself is actually it was perfect, but unfortunately humanity is not. And without a tether, we become disassociated, because you're talking about a shift of time and space and identity. So if you move from one place to the other, it's off, you leave a few electrons behind. So it doesn't really work. So what you need is a tether, and that's what Hope has and what we lack. So I don't have what Hope has. So we can't do what Hope does. But I think I can solve the worst of the unscrambling. I probably still would not transport people regularly, because you leave a few electrons behind, like I said, so don't. But that being said, so I've got the blueprints here, and I solved it. So that should mean that everything's okay now.
You see Seismic like squinting at Vincent and really trying to wonder if he's talking to him in science or if he's trying to make some sort of relational parallel. And
why not both?
Or if he's trying to say that we all need to be like grounded and safe relationally, and if like what we really need is like these things that we leave behind. And I think he's gonna work it out in his head that that's actually what he's trying to say.
I'm gonna tell you, Vincent is still rocking the guilty condition, and is trying to make it up by giving the team things, which is not going to work to resolve that condition.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
not
lean
actually
into that.
sacrificing.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna lean into that and call him out on it.
Go for
And
it.
I'm just gonna say, yeah, you left. You left and you didn't tell me about my dad? What is up with that?
Well, no, actually Hope and Foxling left. And because they left, I knew I had to work fast. And I told you what happened to your dad, so I went to go fix things. Because I had to fix things.
Okay, look, I'm gonna tell you something that I just read.
Okay.
And it may not make any sense to you because it's barely starting to make sense to me.
All right.
But we can only be as close as we are truthful with each other. And you lied to me.
I just didn't tell you.
No, that's what lying is, Vincent.
All right, look, so my parents don't know what I do. And if they did know what I do, it would put them in danger. Or they would need me to stop.
Okay, you're doing this thing I think called redirecting. Look at me. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. Look at me. You lied to me. You're supposed to be my friend.
Do you want to roll the move?
Is there a move here?
I think there's comfort and support.
There's comfort and support.
And also, I think that what you just said, Jason, rises to the level of sharing a vulnerability. So that'll trigger your effectively your intimacy
Nice.
move there. Let's have you roll comfort and support, Seismic. Do you have any conditions that are marked that might impact that?
Indeed, I do. Wait, comfort and support rolls off of what? Mundane?
Yes, it's mundane. And
okay.
Let's have a look here.
Yep, and you're angry.
Yes. Okay, I'm at a -2.
Okay.
Ooh.
Let's see how this goes. Oh, I rolled a 9 - 2 is 7.
Okay.
All right. Well, okay, so in response, I will need to open up to you. And I think 4/4 was like, of course I'm redirecting. That's what I'm on the team for. That's my value, right? Is I take a thing and then I make it something else.
I think that's called avoidance, Vincent.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
I'm really sorry that you can't share this with your family. All this, it's amazing. But even this is not your value. If something happened to you and you weren't able to provide all this, that's not what our friendship is about. And I'm sorry that you can't share this with your family and they don't get to know. But if you are going to choose to share this with us, I think what I want you to share is you. And you and I can't have a friendship if you keep things from me like this.
Huh. So for 4/4 to be told that his value is not his brains and what he can do for you is a big thing. So I think that his response, first of all, is just to go, huh. And then he's going to go, all right. What do you want to know?
So let
And
me, what are you going to do for your mechanical on that? Do you want to mark potential, shift labels, clear your guilty?
well, that's a good point. Okay, well, shit. I tell you what, I think it only makes sense for me to shift my labels based on what he did.
Okay. What do you think is
we're in a weird world where he's powered up my mundane and lowered my freak.
okay?
So I've gone from the initial -1 mundane up to a 2 now, and I suck at combat. My team move gives me a hold 2 that I can spend 1 for 1 to clear a condition or add 1 to a team. So I'm going to use that to get rid of the guilty and then add 1 to the team.
Okay, so that'll take us up to 1 team standing in the team pool.
All right. Glad I did that then.
I'm going to come back to you two. I'm going to let you finish out that scene. I'm going to get another arc on that, but I want to flip over.
Real quick, let me just throw out there just for food for thought in the meantime. I think I may have triggered sharing of vulnerability as well, but
yeah.
Okay.
And so think about what that phrasing of that is going to look like when we come back.
Got it.
So let's come back to Foxling and Hope in this null time space. Foxling, this has been said to you. Let's get your reaction, what you say to Hope before we step any further forward.
So yeah, I don't think much has changed since we had this last conversation. Obviously, if you show him the future, there's some interesting tidbits there. But like nothing's changed since they had this conversation last. Rex hasn't admitted anything or said anything differently. Like he hasn't seen anything that is going to directly answer the previous question.
So Hope, what do you do and what does that look like?
Well, can I try to show her the past?
Is that in your power set or are you
Nope.
doing something else?
No, arguably showing her the future is in my power set.
Okay.
So I say I can't prove that your father directed the killing of Leviathan, and he'll never admit to it. But I can show you something else, maybe. And I'm going to show her a vision of the future, my future. And what it looks like is Reynard Industries tech saying,
Well, let's start before you narrate. This
Yep.
is you unleashing your powers.
absolutely.
So let's start with that.
Okay.
You don't have any conditions marked, so you're in good shape for this.
Famous last words.
Hmm.
That's a miss. I will unlock my moment of truth if that helps. I mean, I will. That is to say, utilize my moment of truth. At some point.
Let's see what your moment of truth looks like here. You directly engage a threat by heading. I don't think that's appropriate here for this situation, right?
Okay. Oh, if it's just a directly engagement.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
I think you go to try and pull that up. But I think you hit this barrier. Like everything is coming like to that nexus point. Everything changes here. We've got those medallions that 404 is built. We've got the changes here, the possibilities. I think as you go to do that, you'll feel that wash of time energy. And for a moment, you feel yourself getting pulled back to the future. What condition do you want to mark to kind of keep like what's the emotion that you feel to keep yourself centered here and not just absolutely let go?
Guilt is what holds me. I grab hold of Humphrey.
Grab a hold of yeah.
Humphrey is there. Grab hold of him as I feel myself being pulled away to the future. And hold on.
Mark guilty, and you, Foxling, you'll see Hope clearly push themselves and try and do something, and then there's this woof, and the two of you fall back out of that null time.
I think as she tried, like, it's clear she's being overwhelmed and she's holding Humphrey. I think he's like, hey, I know you're trying hard for something, but is it all worth it if you're going to hurt yourself? And he like pulls her into a hug. And so they're like, as they come back, they're like free falling into this hug.
Answer is, I was created to kill people at your father's orders. I'd rather die than save you if I could.
Wait, I'd rather die than save you
No.
if I could? Oh,
No. I was created to kill people at your father's orders. If I could die, if I in dying could save you, then I would.
I
could. How much evidence do you need? Almost since I was made by your father to be part of an army, I defected to try and come back and do the only thing that's going to prevent my future. The only thing that's going to prevent my future from coming up, which is to get you away from your father.
Why do I have to be away from him, though? Why can't I save him?
Because he's past saving. He's even now making another one of you.
That's not true. And I think he lets go of her. And I think he just, he starts bolting for like the elevator. Confront.
So let's pause because you'll pop back, Jasmine. You'll see the end of this. You'll see that conversation, and then you'll see Foxling kind of push away to go to flee this. What do you do?
Could I stop Foxling? Is that like, could I try and
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't think we need to do a roll, but let's say you can stop them, and then we'll see whether they stay stopped or not here.
So I think Jasmine gets in the way of Rodan kind of like heading wherever he's heading, and then we'll put a hand on his shoulder and go like, don't run away again, please. We need to stick together.
And I think he stops and he looks at her, and there's like tears in his eyes because like what Hope has been saying is like really getting to him and is hurting him, and it's like he's like teetering on an edge here.
Let's provoke, because you might be able to get an XP out of this, shall we?
Okay.
Jasmine, why don't you roll provoke someone? Because I think you're trying to get Foxling to stop.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm at a -3 for that. So
Oh,
that's,
no.
yep, that's a 3.
That is a 3.
Noel,
Yes.
my moment of truth doesn't involve directly engaging anyone, actually.
Okay. Well, that was what I saw you had listed on your advance.
Yeah, sorry, that's another advance I took.
Okay.
That's not my moment of truth.
Okay.
So anyway,
Well, we'll come back
Yeah.
to that. Okay.
Yeah.
So in that moment there, Jasmine, let me think here for the right fallout from this. I think that even as you're kind of starting to do that, like you're about to like say something, you can hear the sounds of boots coming down the stairs, and we will see this Aegis team come swarming in, and they knock you to the ground, Jasmine, and go to cuff you, and they've got weapons raised on you, Foxling and Hope. So mark potential, Jasmine.
Yeah.
Let's get what Foxling is going to do, and then let's get what Hope is going to do.
So there's Aegis agents with guns pointed at us. So I think Foxling is like teetering. He's near tears, and he looks at them. He's like, "What are you doing here? This is private property. This is my home. You don't have a right to be here trailing guns on us. Get out."
And you're trying to provoke them, or are you going to
Yeah.
engage them?
I think this is a provoke at first.
Okay.
Because he's not looking to. Let me just double check. Do I have a penalty to that? No. Okay. So provoke is mundane. Oh, superior. Oh, cool. You got a +2 to that.
But I think you do have a -2 because of guilty, right?
Oh, is guilty the?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then yes, but I don't think that really matters. Oh, it does. Dang it. So that takes my 9 to a 2. Well, so 9. I had a +2, so that would be a 7, I believe.
Yeah. Let's
Your
see.
superior is listed as 0 on your sheet.
Oh wait. Oh, you know what? I read the wrong scale. You're right. So that's a failure.
So I think there's this moment when someone looks at you, and they fire off this thing, and it hits you, and you can feel this power scrambler start to fritz your abilities as you stagger back.
Yeah, and it feels like a cough, and it like hits him like point blank in the chest.
Yeah. Hope, what do? You see Jasmine on the ground in cuffs. You can see here's another point where the authorities anger Foxling, and they've just hit him with a power suppressor, confirming everything Foxling believes about the authorities.
I'm going to use my moment of truth.
Okay, let's grab this out of here. Grab that. Do you want to grab that text and drop that in the thing?
It's in the text. It's in the. Thomas already did it.
Yeah. Oh, I want to grab it into the chat, into the sheet here. Let's grab this. Copy.
Okay, did you mark potential?
Yes.
Right.
Oh, I always mark potential. I ain't missing that.
All right, so succeed course of events. So you get to reset all your names in the connecting the dots section. But what is it that you believe you have to do to reset the future here?
I know what I have to do. So the first thing I'm going to say, just to stabilize the situation for a moment, is I will say, Aegis, this is an orders overload, agent code 5x2325XP11.
So I think we see like the suits and the Rodan supplied neutralizer equipment, like the lights go off and it powers down, and we see that suppressor like pop and fall off of Foxling there.
Yes. And then I walk over, and we're in the laboratory, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I walk over, and I start punching. I punch some codes in the machine, which I have seen, and it brings up the recording of Aftermath being programmed to kill Leviathan. And it's like, why didn't I just couldn't remember this before. But there it is up on the big screen. Everybody can see it.
And I think what we see is Rodan say essentially, if anyone pushes back, seems to push back against your programming. Rex is saying, if anything pushes back against your programming, tries to undo this or question it, impose lethal force. Do you understand, Aftermath? And Aftermath goes, order received and understood, Master. This is a good time for our first 10-minute break.
No.
Yes. We'll come back on that. All right. We'll be right back. So take 10. We'll go to about a quarter after. Wow, Foxling. It's there. It's visible. You see it. The Aegis people are stumbling with their things, so they probably don't pick up on this, but all three of you see fully 3D visual, every little tick about your father that you recognize in mannerisms and actions and dress confirms to you that it's him. And there are others, you can't quite make them out, but there are other supers in the background of that.
So I'm gonna take a powerful blow.
Yeah.
And that's a 10.
Oh my Lord. So, wow, what do you want?
Oh God. Oh, look at my options real quick here. I think he loses control of his powers in a terrible way. I think this is just like his worst nightmare. This feels like finite proof of everything that Hope's been telling you about, that he hasn't wanted to be true. Almost, it's almost every piece, and it just wrecks his whole existence.
Yeah. So I'll give you two choices for the collateral damage from this.
Mm-hmm.
The building once again, or the Aegis team?
If I may offer a third choice, it's hope.
I'd like to leave the PCs out of this equation if
Okay.
I can for this.
Sure.
God, that's Let's go with the building.
Okay, so I think there's a moment when you're there, and then your powers just lash out. You have enough control that you don't hit the people, but I think there is this moment when it blows outwards from here, the like next 3 floors just gone.
Only 3 floors.
Just this basement, the next 3 floors just blown out in every direction. And I think we see that the rest of the building start to fall. Hope still like locked in, this time revelation here. Jasmine, what do you do?
Real quick, I think we get this panel
Oh yeah, please.
of like Rodan, like before he believes everything, and it's just like fixing the building, and then this moment of him shattering almost is like these tears hit his face, and he realizes everything that's going on, and like his heart just breaks and the building shatters.
I think Jasmine's gonna try to reach out to a foxling in this moment and just do something dumb. And I think she's gonna call out. I think she's going to say, I understand. We can still save your father. Like, it's possible. I need you to believe this.
Let's have you comfort and support as the building comes falling down on all 3 of you and the Aegis team.
Okay. Okay. This is my good move.
All right, let's see it.
Oh, 1 second.
A 56.
I wish.
No, that's an 8. Yeah.
An 8. So does he reach you?
I think so.
Okay. Then do you want to clear a condition? Do you want to switch labels, or do you want to mark potential?
I'm gonna clear a condition here, and I think the sorry, real quick. I think I'm gonna clear angry.
Okay. Like that, like your rage kind of drains away.
Yeah, like through this like power usage and this rage, and it just like a lot of this anger and this fight in him sort of drains away, and he just kind of like does Thomas, I don't want to like narrate for you, but does Jasmine like put a hand on him? Does she come up to him? Like, what does she?
Yeah, I think Jasmine's looking him in the eyes and going, "You're our hero. You're a hero. Sorry, you're a hero, and we need you right now."
I can do that. I've got to do.
And I'm going to cut as you're saying that. Like, I think the bubble, like we get the ... as the shadow, like the artist is drawing the shadow of the rest of the building coming down on everyone. We cut from there back to the lab. Seismic 404.
Are we doing this at the same time that that's going on, or are we back a little bit in time?
We are back a little bit in time. Yes.
Yeah.
We rolled back a few moments so we can possibly give you the opportunity to alleviate that situation. Yes.
Yeah.
But right now, you two are still dealing with the emotional fallout.
Yeah, and we had talked about me triggering vulnerability.
Yeah.
I think the vulnerability just gets triggered when I tell Vincent that we need him, that I need him, and I think would you consider that enough of a vulnerability?
Yeah, and let's
Okay.
walk through the what that does then.
Yeah, ask them what they would do. Ask them what they would do something dark for and
Like-
gain influence over them.
Like what would you
What
how
would
would you go dark? How would you go extreme? Dark 404.
Bizarro 404.
So just unless you want to rephrase it, I can answer the question as you've laid it out there. So 404 is like, I already told you I got to keep my family safe. I mean, 404 can do a lot of things as long as he's separate from Vincent, but anyone puts them in danger. It would be my fault. And there isn't anything that I won't do to fix a thing when it's my fault.
I think I put my hand on Vincent's shoulder and I tell him, I get that, and I'm here to help.
And gain influence over me.
Indeed. Which I believe I already have.
You do shift them labels, sucker.
Indeed. I had told Vincent earlier that, like, he was a genius, right? But that doesn't define him, right? And so I think I'll shift superior up, sort of hitting that. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay.
What do you want to lower?
I don't know. Any ideas?
Mundane.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you are the hero. You don't really need to worry about that. I'll be there.
All right. Sounds good. Now, just out of character, like, how do we help the overarching story from the base?
Well, the base is mobile, so what I was planning on doing is shrinking people and then flying us out while the building falls down.
Sounds good. Is this a good time for our screen to go bloop, bloop?
Yeah, I think you two are there. There's that moment of thing of stuff, and then you look over and you see this flash as Foxling loses control of his powers, and you get multiple screens where you can see that building explode out, and then you see the building starting to come down, and you want to save everybody, right?
Yep.
Let's have you unleash your powers.
Nice. So there's some theme music for people.
Yeah.
So right now I'm rocking a +0, but we have a team in the pool.
You do have a
I
team in a
think.
pool, yes.
And let's see how that goes. Hey, I got a 7.
Got a 7.
So my part of that is to like 4-4 was like, gotta go. and he smacks a button to shrink people, and then he pulls up like the drone controller, which is just a crappy Best Buy drone controller, and like flies by to catch people. And so he's using the drone controller, and the whole lab is shifting side to side as he flies them through the rubble.
there's that boop, 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 as everybody is vanishing. We do this kind of slow motion there as the building is coming down and people like dropped into the lab. The Hope, Foxling, Jasmine, the Aegis team, and then I think like we see you like desperately like pushing the throttle on the drone lab to get it out before the building comes down. And you know, I think we see you just get out, but that wave when that building hits the ground and there's that woof, and we see you and the whole thing spins around before it like goes through the front window of the Best Buy across the way.
The irony.
And there'll be that sort of dust, and the drone has landed in a like a corner. The lab's kind of tilted, and everyone is there, you know, kind of thrown in various positions. And I think the worst thing that has happened, that could happen, has happened here, 404, in that Froyo machine wasn't bolted down.
No.
And it has hit against, and it has gone everywhere.
Lol, you monster. Not the
Um,
Froyo.
Like you've saved everyone, but there's a lot less dignity than you hoped in this moment. Speaking of Hope, since we haven't heard from them for a little bit, I'd like you to be sort of the first person who has a chance to react after we get that sort of settling of the floor and all of the spinning camera has ended and stuff.
Hope's gonna go over to 404 and give him a sisterly kiss on the cheek and say, "Good job."
Hey,
And
thanks.
then she's going to look over at Rodan and then look down at the ground, you know, waiting for the second storm to break.
Yeah. It's quiet there for a bit. We'll imagine that you can pop the Aegis people out of here so they're not privy to this conversation. Does that seem fair? 404?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Jasmine, you're the leader, and you've brought Foxling down a little bit from all of this.
I think Jasmine and Foxling are still in that same position where they're kind of looking into each other's eyes. The only thing that's different about it is that half of Jasmine's face is covered in froyo. It's just like there's the entire this, and it's just the drama of the moment has been sapped.
You have
and
something.
yeah, I think Jasmine just slowly kind of like pulls it off and goes, "Are you back with us?"
Yeah. And it's just very somber. It's just I've let this go on for too long. Yeah, I'm here.
Time to be heroes.
Or something like that.
What do you want to do? It's your call.
We've got to bring a villain in. That's what we do.
As a team?
As a team.
Okay. Where do you think he is right now?
Oh, He was. And he like sort of like looks sort of where the building and like he was on the top floor, but I can find him. I've got the powers. It's part of my making. And yeah, I imagine he sort of uses this cosmic energies, whatever, to like get this like lock signal through his own DNA to like Rex's DNA.
Let's see what Seismic for what are your reactions to all of this before we kind of take that next step forward.
Well, this is part of 404 making things right, and also he'd really like to punch Mercy. The only thing I was going to say is he was going to like, well, if he's got Aftermath with him, we can still track Aftermath, right?
He's going to be looking to reprogram Aftermath. We need
He's
to get
gonna need a
404 there.
teleporter.
Yeah.
Seismic, you okay with going up against your dad again?
Did we have a chance for 404 to explain kind of everything he knows?
Well, he had explained it at the end of the last episode that I was at before. And then he came into this one saying that he could fix it at 72.869 or whatever.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. When Jasmine Knight asks that, I think Pietro's going to turn to Vincent and say, you know, something like along the line of like, yeah, we need to do this. Let's do this. As he's holding Mighty Might and he's covered in froyo.
Oh, hey, this is the new base, everyone. This is Mighty Might.
Drip, drip, drip.
I guess Mighty Might will serve a purpose, won't you? Because this will take. I'm sure it'll be clean by the time we get back.
I think there's probably like tentacles coming out and like yeah.
Brendan, it seemed like you wanted to have a reaction here.
Hope is holding on to Humphrey and looking isolated. It's like her look says, I did what I had to do, and no one likes the person who does that. So, I have a cat.
I imagine that we see you 404 running the sensors, getting the lockdown, getting set, like coordinating that, and like pinpointing the location. I think we get Foxling using his abilities to confirm that yes, it is Aftermath and Rex are in the same location. And I think then we see you having to use those portal powers to open that up and step the group through.
Can we get one more quick moment?
Yeah, please.
I think as they're just getting ready, there's a moment where Rodan sort of approaches Pietro and sort of just gently bumps his shoulders against Pietro's and says, let's go get your dad back.
You know, we might not, which means if that happens, you guys are all I have.
We're enough, though.
Look, if this doesn't go well, I just want to say that, you know, maybe maybe you and I, Rodan, maybe we all need to, I don't know, maybe get better at being a team after this.
Yeah, but hey, no negatives here. And he's gonna like his hand's gonna get on Pietro's shoulder. And he's gonna squeeze it, and like his own guilt is sort of eating at him a little. And he says, "We're gonna get your dad back."
Let's do reciprocal comfort and support if you want. I feel like either both ways. I think let's start with you, Foxling. Feel like you're giving comforting words to Seismic. Do you want to roll for comfort and support?
Yes. Sorry, I'm just checking. I don't think. Yeah, okay. Don't have that negative anymore. Comfort and support is mundane though, which I have a negative one too. That's 5.
That is a 5. So I think that what is it that kind of keeps you from maybe opening up as much as you wanted to?
I think it's that guilt. It's that guilt and that insecurity here, and also sort of he's mulling over what he's willing to do and the actions he's about to take that may not mean that the team gets to be a team after this. But he damn sure means well that he's going to get, Pietro, his dad, back.
Okay. I'm going to put my little hard move from that off over here for the moment, just before we go into battle. Cisco, you want to try, Seismic want to try and comfort Seismic in this, Foxling in this, and I'm going to check with everybody else to give everybody else a chance to kind of get the before the battle moment.
7 minus 2 is 5.
That is a 5. So the good news is you get to mark potential. The bad news is
comforting people.
Yeah. The bad news is I'm putting another baddie on the table.
Indeed. I think the failure of comfort or support, it just comes from the fact that we're having a miscommunication and we're on different wavelengths and we're not listening to each other. Like clearly Pietro here wants to try to tell Rodan that he wants them to work on their friendship and put in the work, because he's realizing that relationships take work and they can't just be talking at each other all the time, and he actually wants to be his friend. And I think Rodan is just really in a functional mode and just trying to get things done, and so there's a disconnect.
Perfect. Hope, in this moment, this quiet before the storm, what connection do you want to try and make? What do you want to try and say?
I'm going to say to Rodan, I hope you can forgive me.
Rodan's gonna look at Hope and say, "You're not the one who needs forgiveness. You're doing what you have to do, and you're doing what's right. I hope you can forgive me for being so blind for so long."
Rodan, I love you.
Oh wow. Sorry, that was Kang.
And I can't. I'll always forgive you.
Hope, let's have you roll that comfort and support.
Yep.
And then we'll kind of see what the reaction is.
That's an 8.
Oh my God, somebody made a comfort and support roll.
That's yes. Only because I get to use Savior.
Yep. So is it a positive response by Foxling to these words?
I think there's just, it's like positive, but it's a bit closed off. So it's just like this sort of like this nod.
So label shift or clear condition, what do you think is appropriate here?
Me, or is that?
Yeah. This is you, kind of your reaction to that.
I think he's gonna remove insecure.
Okay. 404. you've got the tracker there. Mighty Might is cleaning up the froyo, and you have a moment there of interaction before you know you're probably going to face Mercy here.
Yeah. You know, our team leader is rocking a lot of conditions, so I'll take a crack at it at a comfort and support because it's what the cool kids are doing.
Okay.
We're cool kids.
You've always been the cool kids.
I mean, Rodan has been cool, yeah.
Yeah. You guys all have that rebel thing going. So while Vincent's tapping on buttons, he actually doesn't have his helmet on right now. And he's like, so I didn't tell you the other day, my parents asked where I was, and I said I was with you because I panicked a little. But I thought of you because you are extraordinarily competent. And I think they'd like to meet you. If you want, not as supers. I think they'd like Malika. If you want.
I think
if you don't want, that's okay. But I think you're great.
As you say competent, like Malika raises her hand and it's shaking. Like she is deathly afraid, like right now. So yeah, let's see the move.
Let's see how it goes. Yeah, I get a +1.
Yep.
And
Look at that.
the small guy is fly.
So
Okay.
it feels like Malika has responded positively. So Malika, do you want to clear a condition, mark potential, or shift a label?
Yeah, I'll clear a condition.
And what about for you, 404, on that result?
Man, I wasn't expecting it. I don't currently have any conditions, so team in the pool.
Okay, so team pool before we go to battle is at 2 right now. And Malika.
Oh wait, I do have a condition,
Oh.
but I don't care. I'm still putting team in the pool.
Fair enough. Two in the pool. Malika, you're the leader. Let's have you close off with what the emotional thing you want to do before you step through to the final battle.
I think Jasmine Knight pulls everyone together, and I think it's everyone holding somebody else's hand. Like I think it's not consciously done. I think she holds 404's hand, and I think it just unconsciously kind of like waves like through the room, she looks at them and she says, It's always been my dream to be the greatest superhero in the world. And it's possible that a month from now, I'm not one at all. And me being a superhero is illegal. And you guys know I won't break the law. So this might be the last time we fight together. And I just want to say that I love all of it.
That feels strong. How about I just put another team in the team pool without you having to roll?
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And I think the portal opens up. I think all of you get ready to step in. And I think we take a 5-minute bio break. And then we continue on.
And now a word from our
Sponsor.
The true supervillain is LOL.
So as Jason pointed out in the chat, Hope and Foxling, you have the option of giving influence to Jasmine Knight in that moment. Do you want to do that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that means I'll set up the battle in a moment, but let's do the mechanical side of it. We start with 3 for in the base thing. And then we add 2 more. So we're at 5. The leader has influence over a teammate. So that's 6. I think we all have the same purpose in the fight. So that's 7. I don't think anybody is at this moment mistrusting, and I think you've prepared. So we are at the highest team I've ever seen, 7 team in the team pool. And the portal opens up and we're in a like big high chamber. There are walkways around, Kirby machines around here, lighting as the sort of flare comes from the portal opening up. And as you step out, you will see there is a machine not unlike the teleportal machine we've seen before, not unlike the tech that we've seen. And Aftermath is down on this table, maybe sedated, maybe in stasis, not entirely clear. The machine is there. We see Rex like at the controls of that. And we can see that there are a couple of beings that kind of are supers that are standing there. And as they turn around and the light catches them, we can see La Sombra and Chaos there. We can see that collusion. We can see that in play. And we see Mercy. I think as you come through, Rex turns and sees that. And Rex says to Mercy, Mercy, Secret Origin Protocol. And we see Mercy step up and she grabs like something from one of the tables and you see it ignite and flare up. And we see this magic armor start to flare onto Mercy there. Not blue, but red, as she steps forward, aping Enchantress's powers. All right. We have a target-rich environment. So let's start with our leader, Jasmine. The portal's opened up. We've seen the scene. We've got this on screen. What do you do? What do you order? What do we see happen?
I think so. We've got Rex holding.
He's at a panel, like he's like working the device. He's clearly getting the Aftermath reconditioning thing into play.
Okay, I think she's going to head to that panel and try to smash it.
Okay, yeah. So it feels like you are trying to unleash your powers to destroy this machine, to damage it before anything else can happen. So let's start with that. You are off the mark.
Ooh, that's a 6.
That is a 6.
You got team.
Who is helping you? Anyone wanna help Jasmine get over there?
Yeah, Jasmine's suddenly over there.
Okay.
Yeah, you take 2 steps and you're at the control panel without having traversed the intervening space.
So 6 team in the team pool, and you're suddenly over there. And tell me when that looks like. What it looks like when you temporarily disable the machinery.
I think it's just like she is kind of stabbing the panel like straight through, like there's a glass screen, and the her sword just kind of slices in. And I think what she doesn't get is that like Rex could fix this easily. Like,
Mhm.
so I think it isn't the killer move that she thinks it is. That's all. Yeah.
Smash into it. I think Rex steps back and he kind of pushes at you and he goes, "Why are you even here? You're not a super. You're just a girl."
Oh my God. Okay.
Who goes after you? Let's do kind of popcorn initiative to set the order for this thing. So who goes next? Jasmine.
I think it's Foxling.
Foxling.
Yeah, so I think Rex says that, and then immediately gets like thrown off balance as Rodan just rushes into him.
You are directly engaging your father?
Mm-hmm.
Then let's have you roll danger.
Oof. That's a 6.
That is a 6.
Who's helping?
Who has it got?
Don't feel like you have to help side now.
Do help.
I've,
You can help, but don't.
I actually, I'm not suggesting that I do, but I'm suggesting Jasmine does because she's right there and is the team leader.
Oh yeah, Jasmine.
Setup.
Like, what do you want to do? He said this awful thing, and then Foxling comes flying up. I imagine that Rex has some devices like deflectors and things. Like, what do you do to help Foxling deal with this?
I think so. I marked angry as a condition for that 7 to 9 on the previous one. So I think Jasmine, when he says that she is like ready to attack him, and then sees Foxling coming through, and then Rex kind of like sees it in her eyes, like that Foxling is like coming. So he's turning around, and Jasmine just kind of sticks her leg out, and Rex
sweeps the leg.
Yeah.
Perfect. So on a 7 to 9, you get to pick one as you trade blows there, Foxling.
Get to pick one. I need to pick. Impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Yeah, I think you mark a condition, you send him flying back, and he's shocked. You know, he gets knocked down. He's sent back, like his field crackles as he hits the wall. Like it doesn't like hold as much as it should have. Like his eyes get wide. You shouldn't be this powerful yet. The inhibitors should be holding you back, but they're not. And I think he shouts out, "Mercy, take care of your son."
What?
Who goes next, Foxling?
Okay. Who? Pietro goes next.
Seismic.
Seismic is gonna see the scene. There's all these villains here. Man, he has to go.
Your father, the people who betrayed you, set you up.
Oh yeah, that's immediately going to make him turn into lava form. So I'd like to, go ahead with my flare.
Okay.
And I roll +3. This couldn't possibly go wrong. And it's only an 8.
Only an 8, but that does get you some stuff.
It does. Not nearly as much as I wanted, but that's okay. Okay. On a 7 to 9 market condition. Okay.
What is that condition going to be?
It's going to be insecure.
Insecure.
I think it doesn't look nearly as cool as it does when my dad does it, and I feel really insecure about that.
Yeah. So we see you power up. I think that's kind of an incidental move. So what do you want to do with that as you charge yourself up?
Yeah. Kind of summarize the scene for me here. And
Sure.
I know
So-
it's target rich, but
Yeah.
besides just kicking butt, maybe you can highlight some environmental things that I could influence.
So big room, pillars. We can see there's different power sources off to the side. Kirby Tech machines that are flaring. There's towards the end of it where we see that kind of raised dais and the table that Aftermath is on, and the machine that maybe is kind of just above his head, like a kind of an half MRI thing that's going to go over him. Lasombra and Chaos have kind of stepped off to the side. Maybe they're going to try and intercept. There's a panel that's like spraying out sparks, and Rex has been kind of thrown with his energy bubble against another set of machinery. And right now, I imagine that you can see Mercy rushing over to engage with Foxling and Jasmine standing there. They're probably guards and people around here, like scientists running pell-mell in every direction. Does that give you some stuff to work with?
Yeah, that does give me some stuff to work with. So I think Pietro wants to get his dad out of there ASAP.
Okay.
And he doesn't want him to wake up either, right? So I want to bring my dad to me
Mm-hmm.
and spend one burn to use my powers to seize any one object up to the size of a person from someone within view. Does that include actually another person?
I think that is perfect. Now, the question we have now, we're going to find out and not on this round, but probably the next, is whether that wakes him up or not. But what does that look like? How do you, what do we see on panel for you grabbing your father?
I think I am gonna go like and create a bunch of earth, that comes up from out of the concrete, and it's going to launch my father into the air, and I am going to very gracefully jump as well and probably get him from the air.
Perfect.
And land with him.
Lava form caught there. Who goes after you, Hope or 404?
I'm gonna scream to Hope. Hope, get me out of here.
Hope.
Hope wants to do two things at once, so she's got to pick.
Yep.
Can I do an assess first?
Yeah, that seems like
So I'm going to I'll use stick to the mission. And I am trying to assess Mercy because
Okay.
I know her history pretty well. That's a 9. So I can ask one.
Yep.
I'll ask something that's a slight variant on it. You can tell me if it's a legitimate question. What's the vulnerability of that armor?
So what here can I use to disable
To-
the armor is what you're asking.
Yeah, or to hurt Mercy, notwithstanding the armor.
Okay. So the armor is clearly magical and does have some gaps on it because you can see that, like, you've probably in your files seen Enchantress fight, and you've seen the sort of complete field that Enchantress has, but Mercy clearly doesn't have that level of control, and there are gaps, there are spaces in that field in that armor.
I'll also ask, what does the future know about this moment? Because that's my free question.
Let's see, what does the future know about this moment? You know that this is the moment that the number of people in the team went from 4 to 3.
4 to 3 or 5 to 4?
Sorry, 5 to 4. 5 to 4.
Yeah. And I think I
Um,
know the answer to that question. That's a very good. That's a great question. Okay, my action is to defend Rodan
Okay.
against Mercy.
All right. So
So I will teleport in the way
okay.
and brace myself for her attack.
Okay. Roll savior.
Bang. 10.
10. So she comes flying over. You are there in the way, and I imagine that there's that sort of teleportal shift, and the two of you go flying, like dimensional shifting, kind of crash into another part of there, and she's standing up to try and re-engage you.
So I'm going to add a team to the pool.
Okay.
And I'm going to say to Mercy, you're version 1, I'm version 2. This is not going to go well.
Nice. 404.
Well, I had been planning on throwing down on Mercy, but now I don't think so. Do we have any villains unengaged with right now?
Oh,
Get
yeah.
out of here.
That you see
Someone get me
two.
out.
You see La Sombra
Mm-hmm.
and Chaos. La Sombra has that shadowy figure behind.
Yep.
You can see that the two of them, like, clearly they've been told to deal with seismic. Like, so that
I get to
they're-
clear insecure if I fling or take foolhardy actions without talking to the team.
Absolutely.
I can absolutely take them both.
Okay.
So 404 is going to face off against them gunfighter stance, and he's going to go, say hello to my little friend, and pull up a marshmallow gun. And as he shoots the marshmallow, it goes huge, and he's just trying to entomb them in giant confectionery sweetness to keep them held in place. But I am doing it as danger.
Okay.
So yeah.
So do we want to do this as like unleash your powers to hold them in place with your gadgets?
Nope. I want to directly engage.
Okay. All right. Let's have you roll.
Yep. It's not foolish if I'm using my gadgets, although
That's
I am spending a gadget to do this. I had to hold 2, and I'm getting 1 to do this. All right. And I have +1 on that. I got what I deserved.
You get to clear your condition
Yeah.
I do get to
Hey,
clear that
guys.
condition.
and roadmark experience.
Man, all kinds. Everything's coming up 404.
Not
Let's look at my terrible options here.
I think your terrible option is whatever.
Oh wait, no, my terrible option is to let Lowell do whatever he wants. All right, good. Yeah.
So I think you fire that off, and there's this shadowy like shift there, and a blur. You see La Sombra rushing towards seismic, avoiding that marshmallow, and then there's the sound of a woman's voice in your ear, and she touches the side of your mask, and she inflicts a condition. I'm going to let you choose, but she has some mind messing powers, and she's kind of touching that, and she's holding you, and like for a moment you're like, oh, she smells good, and then you feel that crackle as it jets across as these shadow tendrils pierce into you. So what condition does she inflict on you? What does she want you to feel?
I mean, that seems like afraid. That feels like afraid to me.
Yeah, and she is there, and she's like, "You're not supposed to be here. This is not for you." Does that feel okay? Like,
Yeah,
okay. And so she's got a hold of you, like you're in her clutches, and everybody else can see that now that one of the villains has you grabbed.
Yep.
Jasmine Knight.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go help 404.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you want to do that? Is this a defend, or are you going to go strike fully at
This is a defense.
chaos?
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to shove him out of her grasp.
Okay.
Just kind of shoulder charge him and potentially take his place if this goes wrong.
Okay. So that does feel like defend.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Okay. What is my save here? That's +2. Not bad.
This is what you're good at.
That's a 9.
That is a 9. So you will knock 404 out of her grip. And you do get to make a pick there. Add team, take influence, clear condition.
I will add a team to the team pool.
Okay, so we're at 17, which sounds like a little, but you're in her arms.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, lovely," and is running her hands waterfall down your face there with the shadows. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't have to mark a condition, but right now you are in peril. Foxling.
Yeah, I think Foxling like looks back, sees that Pietro seems to have somewhat of a handle on his dad and getting his dad back, and just looks back to his own father and just starts striding towards him and is like, "I think we need to have a discussion." And is going to walk up to him and is going to try and lift him up by the shirt and like force his arm like through this bubble and pick him up by the shirt and put him against a wall.
Okay. How do you want to read that? Are you engaging him? Are you trying to change the environment? What do you want to do here? You're trying to provoke him?
I'm trying to decide if it's a directly engage or a provoke.
Yeah, you got a lot of options here.
Yeah, I think this is a directly engage.
Okay. Then let's have you roll.
It's a 5.
It is a 5. Oof. Now, I will point out that Jasmine has a move for this, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the Fox thing is just trying to
break through that force field, get a hold of Rex, and take control of the situation over his father.
Yeah, I think it's I think she just says something. I think she says, "Don't you dare let him beat you." And I think she screams it out loud. Yeah.
Nice. So Foxling, what do you want as your options? You hear that cried out?
I'm going to take this bubble.
Okay.
Away from him and get him.
Okay. So that bubble is shattered. He is flung back. What condition do you want to mark from the exchange of blows?
I think there's a bit of hopelessness to this.
Absolutely. Like this is you having to fight your father, sort of shatters back from that. Oh, is that your mother or not? You know, what's going on with that?
I think we get a really great image of the bubble shattering next to like Jordan's face. So like you get like the shattering of the bubble and his face, and you can see like inside, like they do like one of those panels where it's like half his actual face and half like this like shattering inside, like as he's dealing with all of this.
I think that we see him. He's playing with his devices right now, trying to recalibrate. He's trying to do something big here to fend off this.
Stop fiddling with your toys and address me like a man, Father.
Nice. Seismic, you have a hold of your father, but you see that Jasmine Knight is in your girlfriend's, lady friends, arms, and is you can see the shadowy tendrils there, and there's La Sombra as well, who's coming towards you. Big challenges, big actions. What do you do?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I am going to make a move. Or how is Jasmine close enough that I could like look for a way out, look at Jasmine in trouble, be like expletive, move toward her, and throw up a barrier that will keep us safe from La Sombra and Chaos by spending one burn.
Yeah, I think we can describe to me what that looks like. How does it push Chaos out of the grip there as you burn your other burn?
I think I'm going to do something like what Iceman would do.
Okay.
But instead of creating ice in front of him, he's gonna have his dad on one shoulder and out of the concrete of the building, like create this ramp that he's traveling through, and then he's gonna like knock off Chaos off of Jasmine. And this is more narrative. Like I'm not trying to hurt her.
Yeah.
And then like bend over near Jasmine and then like cocoon up and protect us both.
Okay. So you got a hold. Who knows how good this protection is, but you've pulled this woman off of Jasmine. Jasmine is free, and you still got your father who is coming to, waking up, and who knows what's going to happen with that. But right now, La Sombra and Chaos are trying to get back at you, but you forced them away. Hope, you're engaged with Mercy right now.
Yeah. And you know, Hope is furious, and she says, "I gave you a chance to change this, and you wouldn't take it. You know, you deserve everything that's about to happen." And she goes for Mercy.
Okay.
Too heavily biomodified synth.
All right.
She is doing this without regard for her own safety, because I'm pretty sure I know what the future means.
Okay.
Which is that if that I'm the one who's not going to be there. So with your permission, I'll take the +1 ongoing.
Okay.
So that's actually a 10.
That is a 10. So you will slam into her, and
I reach up under. I reach up under. I slam into her. I throw an elbow up underneath the weak point in the armor, where it doesn't quite cover, and I pop. We don't have vital organs exactly, but we do have nexus points that are slightly more vulnerable than others, and I crank her in one of them.
And I think you'll definitely hit her, and she bleeds differently than you would expect. Like there's clearly something bioorganic there beyond your fusion, some sort of Mark 1 thing. What do you want as your pick from the directly engages? You slam her backwards.
Okay, so I'm going to let's see, I'm going to resist their blows.
Okay, so the two of you are tangled up, like still fighting. I imagine machinery is going crashing every which way from this.
And I'd like to create an opportunity. And what I think that is I bang her right into Los Hombres. When I hit her hard, in one of our bips right around, I bang her right into Los Hombres.
Yeah, knocks him out from his course to go in and shadow port in to pull Seismic out of that those defenses there. 404.
So I think 404 looks at all of this really high level violence going around and goes, yeah, you got this. And instead we'll go over to where Rex's computers are.
Okay.
And try and rule those suckers instead.
So what is your intent? Like, what do you want to do? Are you reversing the effect on Aftermath? Are you trying to shut the machines down? Are you trying to overload? What do we see? What are you trying to do?
Well, I would love to reverse the effect on Aftermath, but that was supposed to be the medallion, which I presume I gave to Seismic to do that. Like that's what that device does. So ta-da. So in this particular case, I was going to use it as an assess the situation, but instead I could just try to take over the systems that he's got running in here. So yeah, I'm gonna try and out hack him, I guess.
Okay.
Since it's good, I don't really even have any questions for an assess the situation, even though the move's right there. So screw it. I'm just gonna take over his system.
Okay.
So I guess that's probably freak.
I think it's let's do this. I think you can use Superior for this.
Okay.
Because it is in your science wheelhouse. I think that feels better to me here.
All right, let's I think I'm still at +1.
Oh, look at that. Jason, boxcars. Tell me, what is it you want to have happen?
Well done.
What big change in the fight, in this situation, do you want to have happen? And it absolutely will.
All right. I would like to fix Mercy. I don't believe this is who Mercy really is. I believe that she is being dominated in some other way. I don't know if we ever kind of like, so she appears to be somewhat like an enchantress, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's I think 4/4 basically moves the levers around, and where everything was pulsing red energy before, it now switches to a more proper 4/4 electric blue.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're gonna steal from Tron. And that's
Absolutely.
just it. And it's gonna, like, the camera will do a chase follow as kind of like a burning fuse of blueness that runs along the floor, and interfaces with her Magitech. And there's just like a glow and just as all of her stuff flips color scheme.
And I think that hits her, and there's this moment she kind of pushes back away from Hope, and we see that crackle, and we see her look down, and she looks around, and she looks over at Rex, and she says, "What have you done to me? What have you done?" And you can tell that, like, her programming, whatever has held her in this, is shattered. Jasmine Knight, back to you.
So, how, Cisco? What does this cocoon look like?
Like an armadillo minus the legs and the head and the tail.
Okay, so we're not going anywhere.
Correct.
Okay.
And you probably wake up with me screaming your name, like, Malika, wake up.
I think like she wakes up and she looks at you and says, "I always knew you'd save me in the end." And I think she puts her hand out and she's looking for that medallion or whatever. Or she's like giving you the opportunity to put it on your dad right now. She's like, let's save your dad.
Hey, Lowell, can we do this?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. I will go ahead, Lowell. You were going to say something?
So you two will reach out to activate this, to put this on him.
Yeah, I think like you see me like getting even more concrete from different places to like quadruple reinforce this thing. This is just flavor.
Right.
And then I'll put my dad down and then hand a medallion to Malika.
Do you want to spend a team from the team pool to do this?
Yeah, this is it.
This is it, yeah.
It's for all the marbles.
So
I think
see the two of you grab that, put that on him. We see that crackle. La Sombra was trying to get up to get at you, to stop you. Chaos is beginning to realize that this may not be the best situation, and I should just get out of here. And you put
Sounds
that
like something
on,
Chaos would do.
and I think we see it, that hit, and that energy, that when it got blue electric that we've seen just a moment ago. And I think his eyes come open big, wide, bloodshot, angry. And I think he says, "Son."
Dad, is it you?
What's going on?
It worked. It worked. That son of a gun did it. It worked. Vincent brought you back. You're back.
What? And you see him, and then he goes, "Rex." And I think that cocoon that's around you shatters out, and like he flares up full rage. Foxling.
Yeah, he makes me look definitely like Diet Aftermath.
Yeah. Foxling, you've smashed your father back, kind of crackled through that. You're facing him down. He's looking still startled at you. And then you see his eyes go as he sees Aftermath, and you hear Aftermath shout that out.
And I think Rodan like fists a hand in like Rex's like suit and like lifts him up, and then sort of like looks over at Aftermath and is like, "This isn't your fight anymore. Be with your son," and starts to walk towards like the edge of the building.
Let's well, this feels narrative to me. So what are you trying to do? Like, what is your goal here?
I guess maybe this is a provoke because I'm trying to keep Aftermath out of this.
Let's have you roll provoke.
Which, do I have a negative to that right now? Directly engage. Yeah, I have a -2. Okay.
Okay, let's have you roll.
4.
So I think you lift him up and you turn to Aftermath and you go, this is not your fight. And then boom, your father is taken out of your arms. And you see Mercy has shot across and is standing over him with essentially this chair leg that has become a sharpened point, and she is raising that up to kill your father.
Is it still my turn?
What? Let's have Hope's reaction.
Okay.
And then we'll kind of check in with you again here. Hope, you see that. You saw that change. You were kind of stunned by this, and then whew, she's across. She's pulled Rex out of Foxling's arms, and she's clearly going to kill him.
So I shoot a glance at Rodan. To see if I can tell what he wants.
What is it you want, Rodon? What are you trying to do? Like, what do we
Rodan's
see?
gonna defend. This is his fucking
Yeah.
fight.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on with you,
Yeah.
Mercy, but sorry, I don't fucking
Okay.
care right now.
Looks like Rodan's going to throw himself in the way
Okay.
to try and
Yeah.
stop this.
So well, I teleport, and I get in the way,
Okay.
and Mercy runs me through.
Right through you, stopping the blade, saving Rex. Rodan, Foxling, you see this.
He screams. And it's just visceral, and it's tired, and it's angry, and it's scared, and it's all guilty, and all these emotions he's feeling. And I think he loses control of his powers again, sort of, as he's like in this like little bubbled area as he steps closer to where this sort of configuration of Rex, Mercy, Hope himself is.
It crackling energy. It feels like a build-up 404. What do you do? You are muted.
Is Hope an organic being?
Partially organic.
Right.
So I'm a 3D bioprint. So I'm made all of biomolecules, but I was engineered from scratch.
Yeah. So if you're asking if your science and powers could help, possibly.
Yeah. I was thinking about trying to back her up onto the computer. But I don't. Yeah.
Could work.
It is a mental imprint, and this whole thing here is about these kind of devices. Do you want to try and do that?
Well, it's you know what? I might be able to, because we've got this teleporter here. I might be able to back up her code.
Yeah. You also have the amulet she wears.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's have you unleash your
let's
powers.
mess with the laws of time and nature.
Yeah.
What could go wrong? All right.
For God's sake, I'm a scientist, not a doctor.
Yeah. I didn't take the medical stuff on the base for a reason. All right, so I'm at a 6, and I will tell you, if no one else wants to spend that team, I will steal it.
No, I think it's me. I think what happens is Jasmine Knight appears just as Hope is sort of stabbed through, and she's going to use that brain gun on Hope, kind of steal Hope's like entire like memory into it, and then throw it to 404.
Jab into the computer.
Yeah. So slamming that into there. Seismic, your father looks like he's going to, like, he's angry and he's going to still rush forward. What do you want to do?
He looks out of control, right?
Yeah.
Okay, before he blows this whole thing wide open, I think I'm gonna try to have that moment where like I talk him down and get him to do what he wants, but in a controlled way.
Let's have you provoke your father.
Okay.
There is 3 team in the team pool.
Okay. And I am at a -2. Let's roll. Nope. Sorry
No,
about
not a 0.
that. Yep, it's a 4. I rolled a 4.
3 tool team in the team pool.
We can could theoretically make that work. I mean,
Do you want to spend it selfishly? That's the easiest way to do this.
Can you
Can
spend more
I-
than one?
Can I spend all of it selfishly? Surely not.
No, I think you can only spend
you
one.
can only spend one.
Right.
You can
Okay, that
spend
would bring-
one. You can get help from 3 different people, or you can get help from Jasmine and 1 other person.
Oh, that's a good
Okay.
point. Yeah. We could get it up to a 7.
What do you guys think?
Spend it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think we see like that moment where he is like rising up into the air like Magneto, except he's like a lava being, right? Yeah. And this is the end of the thing. So maybe this is the moment where I really look like him and I unlock my ferrokinesis, but I look a lot more controlled and I fly up next to him, you know, and I go, hey, remember where you are. Like, it doesn't have to end this way. Look at me, Dad. And like, he's still like, his eyes are glowing, but he does make eye contact here.
Yeah. And maybe his eyes move to see the rest of your team, to see how they are acting to save people, how they are acting to do this. And he stops.
Good. I think this how I selfishly use the team pool, and
Well,
we're
I
just
imagine
gonna-
it's actually
Oh.
the team helping out, so
Yeah.
we can get you to
Oh,
that.
I see. Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
there's the
Okay,
team.
let's do that. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hope says, Pietro, I knew you'd make the right choice. She seems to be unable to move, but still talk. I knew you'd make the right choice. And then her eyes close.
And your
Oh,
father stops
literally
there.
chills.
All right. So I think that we move to the epilogues here. Get to decide where things fall, where things go. So a lot of this turns on Foxling, but I don't necessarily want to put you first. Do you know what you would like to see as your epilogue in the aftermath?
I have some ideas.
Okay. Then, and people can do this at different times. We can sooner or later or so on. So let's start with you as the Rex is caught, aftermath is freed, Hope is dead but not dead. This Mercy hybrid is freed from the conditioning.
So yeah, I mean, you get this moment of truth unlock for Rodan, and I think he this Mercy is busy with his Hope, and I think we get him like picking up his father and bringing him to the edge again, and being like, "You're just gonna get out of jail." You know, it's gotta be this way. And I don't know if Rex says anything or tries to stop this, or
I think he opens his mouth like and you're like, is he going to say something? Is it going to be sincere? But no, it's going to be cold and calculating.
Mm-hmm. And I think he does have one question he wants to know, which is, are there more of me?
Yes.
And I drop him.
And we're underground, so I imagine that you
Oh, okay.
drop him through this sort of, we've got that teleportal that sort of like that's crackling that is through there, and
Yeah, and there's just this line which is just like, I couldn't change you into the person to do the right thing with what you had, so I will do the right thing without you.
Hope, what is the epilogue we see for you?
So shortly after the battle ends, anybody looking can see that Hope's amulet that got damaged in the fight, and her body shimmers and then vanishes. And 404's analysis is that time has rectified itself, as it tends to do without force majeure. But then subsequently in the base, with 404's tinkering and people are sitting around and talking, and there is a voice that says, initializing, this is Hope 1.0. How can I be of assistance?
404, what is your epilogue?
Well, I think mine is pretty short because it's at the Robinson household. And presuming that Thomas is okay with it, Malika comes over and Vince is like,
Your parents' jaws drop.
yeah. And I think like it's going pretty well. And then there's a moment that Mom goes, wait, aren't you that superhero? Because she has a public identity. And then there's a panic look at and Vincent's like, we're going to be late for the movie.
and they left your sister's like there. Your sister's like, how did she's gorgeous. Like, and then there's that. And everyone's like, what? And out the door. Malika, what is your epilogue?
Let me go last.
Okay, sure, absolutely. Seismic.
Mine's a montage.
Okay.
Of course. I am in Michael Maraska's office, and there is a cutout of chaos, and and we're there, and Michael Maraska is holding up a sign that says no. And I look to chaos and I go, I don't feel good. And it's like, no. And it's like, maybe later. And we see him practicing his boundaries. And then we get another shot of him at a recovery meeting saying the Serenity Prayer. And then I think we see the day when he like qualifies to be a sponsor, and he's like 18 or 19, and then like this maybe 14, 15-year-old troubled youth like goes up to him and asks if he wants to be his sponsor. And then lastly, we see Pietro with Michael Maraska at a park.
Maraska.
Oh, is it Maraska? Maraska. Thank you. And it's, if it's okay with you, Jason, I'm holding Mighty Might, and Mighty Might can change colors, and Mighty Might is black, and I'm wearing all black, and Michael Maraska is wearing black, and I'm like, this is stupid. we can just get another one. And Michael Moraska is like, no, this is something you have to learn. Mourning is a thing you learn. That doesn't even make sense. It's like, no, feeling your feelings is something you have to learn. That doesn't just trust the process. And then you hear Pietro say, like, you were good to us. And what happened to you was not your fault. And I will miss you. And like, it's very clear that this is about hope, but Pietro isn't quite ready to start mourning hope yet. And he's like, this is hard. And Michael Moraska is like, yeah, but you have to start small. And we see the Froyo machine at the park. And then we hear Amazing Grace playing in the bagpipes in the background as Pietro opens up the earth and just lowers the Froyo machine into the earth and covers it. And Mighty Might is weeping its eyes out.
Trying to get at the last little sticky bits on it, just kind of pushing forward to do that.
Indeed. So this is where Pietro starts mourning hope.
She's there, but she's not who she was before. That kind of mourning for one kind of person there. Malika.
Yeah. So I think Jasmine Knight is walking down the street with 404. They're holding hands, and she's like, "That movie was kind of sucked." And then like up ahead in the distance, like there's an explosion, and she goes, shit, I think we need to head to work. And like on the comms, like we hear like Seismic and like Foxling and Hope all kind of check in, and we all show up on screen for that like last kind of panel. Like we are a team. Yeah,
absolutely. Slightly different costumes, to show a little evolution. We get that scene, and then you all start to move, and we freeze frame, on that. And that's our series, everybody.
Can I add one little bit?
Yeah.
I think we get like a sort of backsplash newspaper, and it's just like, tragic accident at RexCorp Labs. Billionaire dies. Young teenage son inherits mantle.
Mhm.
And then there's like another page, and it's like, young billionaire donates like $50 million to create a center for negotiation between Aegis and supers, and like you see this like war that Rex was trying to create to gain control, and all the building blocks that were put there as Rodan uses Rex's money and technology to disassemble that, to make sure that future doesn't happen for Hope. And it's like a center called like the Hope Center for Meta-Human Relations or something like that.
We see that in the background as the credits roll. Like that's what's on screen, the spinning papers and all that.
Can I add an after credit scene?
Okay,
really quick. I think Pietro has really leaned into like emotional wellness, and so he has tried to get the team to group therapy for whoever will go. And I think Michael Moraska is there, and he turns to Pietro, and he turns to anybody who would show up, and be like, okay, so who'd like to go first? And we're all just sitting there awkwardly, and then I think that's where we end.
nice. I wouldn't mind just a quick stars wishes to kind of finish us out. Actually, stars. Let's just do stars. We're just going to do stars with 5 sessions. We wrap this up. If anybody has any feedback about the way I ran or things like that, please feel free to contact me on that. That is appreciated. But for the moment, let's stick with this. Let's stick with the stars for things you liked. Kay, let's go in that same sort of order we did the final.
That motherfucking Froyo machine, Jason. Just
Let's not forget that Lowell is the real villain here.
Well, yeah, Lowell is the villain here. Star to Lowell for their true villainy for destroying the Froyo machine. But yeah, Jason, that Froyo machine, the whole shebang with that was absolutely chef kiss delightful. Thomas, Star, Malika was just fabulous leader in the end, but also thank you for giving me that hand holding. It was everything I wanted and more. So cute. I'm very happy that at least like one of us got some very cute, happy, shippy ending there compared to some of the other chaos and sadness that kind of happened. Cisco, your fucking epilogue is just so good. Just the whole like the no chaos, no. But then also that moment where I'm like, is this like funeral for hope? And then I realize it's for the Froyo machine. And like the duality there, the language you use for that, like is just very, very good. And then Brandon Hope just breaks my heart. I love it. I'm gonna cry over them tonight before stream, and just like, yeah, the Hope Rodan and like the star-crossness and the whole like that whole foursome and their parallels there between Rex, Rodan, and Hope and Mercy. It was a beautiful narrative, and I'm angry at myself for not giving them a happier ending.
Nice. Brandon.
No, there's so much to like, and I won't repeat what people have said, but some of the all of the son father interactions were fantastic. Malika's leadership, 404's thinking to try and deprogram Mercy in there. Hope was just set on a beatdown, and that just changed the entire tenor of that, of the situation there. It made her stop and realize, wait, I'm trying to save the future here. I'm not trying to get revenge on anybody. And getting the opportunity to to make it turn out the way a good way, to feel like it really made a difference. It was huge. So, and you really managed the whole thing wonderfully, Lowell. Thank you.
Thank you. Jason.
I had so many things to say that I had to write down notes real quick. And I probably will repeat things people said because it's awesome. First of all, like Lowell rolling with the punches. Like there are things I wouldn't know how to deal with, or I would stutter, and you just have things there so it feels seamless. And I continue to learn a lot about GMing, and might I even say friendship from you. So, so it's always good. I like that Cisco appreciates my banter in the chat, because I don't know if everyone always does, but I appreciate Cisco's soundtrack. Because rarely do I have a soundtrack for games, and then I'm like, oh, I have to go back later and listen to this properly. I'm always I have to mute it, so I'm like, I don't want it to come through the microphone. The journey of this team is really Foxling's journey, and Kay knows that. So trying to cover that and get to a resolution is tough. And speaking of resolution, dealing with the wibbledy-wobblediness of time, which I think someone had pointed out in like episode 1 for Hope, but like especially when it's gonna kill off my character now. Let's see what happens with that. It's a challenge to deal with time, and having played characters that are the team leaders, I will tell you that is a thankless job, especially for like a 5-session thing. Normally in Masks, I will tell you, someone starts off being the team leader, and by episode 3 they are not. They don't want it. There's been a shift, whatever, to take it and hold it, and to have that character be the beacon where you've got literal gods tossing things around is a heck of a thing. So points to you, Thomas. And that's my 2 cents.
Cisco.
So many stars to give. I too will echo some of these stars because I've been writing them down as we've been playing. So, Kay, love that choice that you made to let go of Rex, and I loved your arc. I loved the deep pit in denial that you were in, and then you getting out of it. That was awesome. Jason, thank you for building the soundtrack of this game on the side with me and the banter. So much fun. Thank you for thank you for the base, everything that you added to the base, and thank you for letting me add the details there and play with what you set up on the base. That was so much fun. The Froyo machine, and I really love that your character was looking out for everybody else. That endeared me to Vincent quite a bit. Lowell, yeah, I too learn a lot from you. Your spotlight management is on point. I just watched a replay of me GMing, and I am so slow on answering my players, and the way that you just do the tempo is amazing, and then what you did with the NPCs is very good. So I too learned things from you. Thomas, I really love that Malika is the one that ended up saving my dad, because I really like that Malika was
Yeah.
the leader throughout the whole thing, and even though it was my dad, that felt so right, and I love that. And then the biggest star goes to Brandon and Hope's sacrifice. That was awesome. And I've said this before when you've played, you do such a good job at staying in first person dialogue and leaning into role playing, but role playing from a first person point of view that I admire so much, that it's something that I haven't learned quite how to do yet. So well done.
Awesome. Thomas.
Yeah, so everyone said everything, but I just want to add that like as our characters were like gelling as a team, I really felt like this was also the smoothest play we ever had. Like everyone's epilogues were so beautiful, that ending just worked so amazingly. I felt like we were all on the same wavelength, and I know a lot of that is actually just Lowell GMing really, really well. Like that spotlight management is just so smooth. It's butter. Like, this game would have felt different if we didn't have that. So I just want to appreciate all the players and Lowell for doing such a great job. Thank you so much.
And I want to thank all of you. Like, I can't spotlight management unless all of you are good with sharing and being cooperative and realizing, okay, yeah, we do need to cut here. We do need to move on. You're watching for that, especially with 5 players. Like 5 players is tough. I usually don't run with 5 players. 4 is my sweet spot. And I was a little nervous, but you guys are all so good that it made this doable. And so I really appreciate all of you being willing to go along with that, being willing to see where the beats are going, and both playing along and turning things in different directions. Like there's just a really nice mix of all of you going, okay, yeah, I think we can go along with this, but also, oh no, I want to change this up. That balance is always hard to do. So thank all of you for that. It was real fun. Jason, it's been a while since I've had to play with you. And I do want to thank you because we kind of squeaked you in there. So want to thank you very much for that. And it was a good time all around. So I am going to stop the recording.